Have you ever wondered if swiping right beats meeting somebody in person? In this video, I'm gonna break down the pros and cons of each scenario and try to find out which one is better suited for you to get you close to the dating relationship you actually want. All right, I'm gonna get right into it. So we all know some of the pros and cons. We all been through the shit, you feel me? But here is the appeal of in-person dating. So you get the natural chemistry, you get this ability to gauge people's body language, eye contact, their like distance, proximity, you feel me? So you can understand, you can get a vibe. You can get a vibe, you get that natural chemistry, you feel me? And then you get immediate feedback. There's no waiting for a text. You can see if the person's interested and you can make a read on their level, interest level, and get in and get out of the situation as you see fit. Another big bonus, in my opinion, is you have an opportunity to take somebody on a date like right away. There's been plenty of times where I met somebody and was like, "Hey, let's get coffee real quick," or "Hey, let's I got a donut shop right here real quick," or "We can just get some tea." Make something real quick, right around the corner, real cool. And then the last thing is like, there's catfishing on the internet with online dating. I mean, you're in person, you can't really get catfished. Uh, some of the challenges of in-person dating is there's a limited pool. You're kind of limited to your city or town. Um, so you can't just like, unless you feel like driving out to the other towns a couple miles away, that's on you. But you're kind of limited to your close proximity, you feel me? And then another challenge for in-person dating is if you have social anxiety. A lot of people may struggle with that. And I could probably give you a couple tips in another video, but it's a real struggle, and I can understand it's a huge challenge for some people. And then the last challenge, in my opinion, is just like timing. Um, Finding the right time to meet somebody when you got like work. Some people may have kids, after school things, businesses. Finding that time to meet somebody is kind of hard, especially with how the economy is and how people are struggling. It's kind of hard to meet somebody out and about. Um, that's another one of the challenges. Let's get into the appeals of online dating. That's the next step. The appeal of online dating. Let's get it. Um, it's convenient, first and foremost. You can just swipe right, try to find a good match, and it takes a lot of that social pressure away. So it's real convenient. It's real easy. Anybody can sign up, make a profile, start swiping. Easy. Another big thing is you can broaden your reach. You're not limited to a city or a state. You can go to another state close by, go to another country if you want. Real convenient. Another thing is you can specify your type in a way. You can't really do that in person, obviously. You can't be like, "Hey, I don't like you because you're not my type." Well, you can, I guess you can say that. It's kind of a dickhead move, but you can say that. It happens. People say it all the time. Um, but you can predetermine that and specify that in your online profile. So that's another benefit. And another benefit, I guess, is you can kind of remain anonymous, which can kind of leak into a negative because it can be leading to catfishing. So you can have this anonymity, but that is a benefit for some. Let's get into the challenges. The challenges. So obviously, let me get back to my last point. You can get catfished. There's a way to misrepresent yourself, and you can catfish some people. You don't look high if you upload an older picture. You don't look that way. Makeup. I'm not gonna talk about that, but makeup. Uh, then it's obviously posting a picture of somebody that's not yourself. There's ways you can there's ways to misrepresent yourself to, or for the other person to be misrepresented, and you believe that also. Another thing is you can get too many options where it's overwhelming. Then there's commitment issues. It takes the human out of it. You feel me? And then you can't really get that chemistry. I mean, I guess I'm biased because I prefer on in-person dating because I very much get into the body language. I like to hear the tone of the voice. Through text, there's no tone. You have to assume a tone, which can be negative. You have to hope there's chemistry through the words, but it can be fake. It can be fake in person too, but a little bit easier online. And then the last thing that most men are familiar with is ghosting. You can get ghosted; it happens. It also happens in person. You text a girl, be like, "Hey, let's go on a date," and then she ghosts you. Ghosting happens both online and in person, so let's not just limit it to online. But it does happen more so online. You can kind of match with somebody and then they never talk to you. But then you can also get burnt out. Like online dating is tiresome. You swiping all day, try to meet with, and it's a little heartbreaking for the men. But you can get tired, you can get burnt out of it. All right, so there's some differences in online dating and in person dating. One of the big differences is um, how fast relationships can grow. For some people, online dating relationships can grow really fast, and vice versa. For some people, in person relationships can grow really fast. And so, here's my thing: it, online dating, I feel like you have to get to know the person a lot better. Whereas in person dating, it can be a lot more fun and you get that chemistry built off, you survive, you feel me? Whereas when we flip back to the online dating side, where you're really actually getting to know the person, having phone calls, video chats, and you can vibe, you can have online dates there too. So depending on which approach you take, uh, you may see a trend in which one progresses relationships faster. And then, like I said, the communication is different. The Obviously in person, you can see a tone, you can get the body language, little hair twirl, and distance proximity. It's a lot of things that you can visually see that makes communication a lot easier. Whereas text, you can misunderstand somebody through text, and it can lead to a lot of negative situations. Um, and then another key thing for women specifically is the risk factors. Um, Men, you got to understand that women are afraid out in public. Their life is like constantly in danger. They're at risk. So women may be a little more standoffish in public, and they may have a little more sense of pride and online because their hair is all done up. They're posting their best pictures. They look their best, so they understand their worth. Both situations, put it like that. They understand their worth in both situations. I've experienced. But online profiles, you can hide behind a screen where you may get an ego boost. I ain't even gonna try to. I was gonna try to like cater to the women. We ain't gonna do all that. I was gonna try to correct myself, but it's all good. Um, but main thing is the risk factors. There's less risk online dating. There's no immediate threat of getting harmed. As in person, there's an immediate threat of getting harmed. So take that risk factor into consideration. All right, so what I would do is do a little bit of both. I would do some online dating, then I would do some in-person dating. Uh, Combine the two if they're close enough, if you good enough. Uh, Meet somebody online, take them out for a date in person, same day. Um, it's possible. You can do both. Yeah, you can do both. Like for example, well, I already gave an example. You can meet a person online, get us talking, have a little phone calls here and there, like, hey, what are you doing this Friday? And take her out for like lunch, get like some sandwiches or something real chill. Or what happens most cases in in person dating scenarios, you meet somebody on the street, You get a number or the Instagram. I would always go for the number. Instagram is kind of whack, but we're in a different generation. Uh, you get the number, you get the Instagram, and you're like, hey, let's meet up. And then it kind of tends to stay an online or text relationship, which is not what the intent was. So it happens, but you'll be all right. All right, so let's recap real quick. So we know the pros and cons. Let's run it back real quick. Pros for online dating relationships. Pro, there's less risk factor involved for women. You can kind of be anonymous and hide behind the screen in a way. You're showing your best self. And let me look at my notes real quick. It's convenient. It is convenient. And then the appeal for online dating, pros, natural chemistry. You can take them on an instant date. I can run through this probably without looking at my notes, to be honest. Natural chemistry, you can get it. Instant date. You can see their eye contact, body language, tone of voice. You can't get catfished. And then we can run through the cons. The cons are there's a risk factor involved. Um, there's a chance to be like shut down. That fear of rejection is real. Um, a big pro if you can't approach that social anxiety hits. That's another big con of in-person dating. And then obviously the cons of online dating is you can get catfished and get ghosted. Big cons. But all right, I hope y'all enjoy the content. I will be back for another video in a couple weeks, 2 weeks. So I hope to see y'all soon. All right.